FUT, Futu Holdings, now at 46.75 off the high, $4.46 after the company announcing an investment of about $260 million. That's Foxtrot Uniform Tango Uniform. Shares of Curus at 334, down about 40 cents from the highs now. Still up very sharply after the company announcing positive data from its trial for acute myeloid leukemia and myelodysplastic syndromes. That's Charlie Romeo India Cindy, now at 337, closed at $1.44 on Monday. SHYF Shift Group launches new RV app. Sandy Hotel Yankee Foxtrot. Foot Locker FL adopts short-term shareholder rights plan. That's Foxtrot Lima. FISV Fiserv provides preliminary 2021 outlook. 7 to 10%, 17 to 12, correction, not 7 to 12% internal revenue growth and adjusted earnings growth of 20 to 25%. That's FISV. NEE Next Terra Energy enters the mobility market with acquisition of EIQ Mobility. That's November Echo Echo. PSN Parsons awarded $32 million contract for continued program management expertise by San Bernardino County Transportation Authority, Papa Sandy, November. NEM Newmont Mining providing 2021 and longer term outlook, November Echo Michael. Says gold production expected to be 6.2 million ounces to 6.7 million ounces through 2023, 6.5 to 7 million ounces through 2025. That's November Echo Michael. ATHA, Athera Pharma awarded research grant expected to total $15 million over 3 years from National Institute on Aging, National Institutes of Health. That's ATHA. Shares at $26.50, up 50 cents for Alpha Tango Hotel Alpha. LRMR, Larimer Therapeutics, announcing completion of dosing of single ascending dose clinical trial in Friedreich's ataxia patients and provides program update. That's LRMR. SIRI, Sirius XM popping here. Sandy India, Romeo India. Howard Stern extends his agreement with Sirius XM. Howard Stern show to continue exclusively on Sirius XM for the next 5 years. That's Sandy India, Romeo India. Shares of Sirius XM hitting $7.12 at the high. Sirius XM's exclusive rights to Howard Stern's audio and video archives to continue for additional 7 years. Sirius XM off the highs now, 686, up 34 cents. $4 now on Curus, $4.04 the high on CRIS. FDA staff publishes briefing documents on Pfizer-BioNTech COVID-19 vaccine ahead of advisory committee meeting on Thursday. CRIS Curious shares now up more than 200% at the high, up $2.05 at the high now. Charlie Romeo India Sandy, correction, up $3.05 at the high, up 200% for CRIS. ALCO, Alico reporting $2.29. Alpha Lima Charlie Oscar. FDA briefing documents say the Pfizer BioNTech COVID vaccine seems to provide some protection after one dose, around 52%. That's PFE BNTX. mRNA, Moderna, Switzerland exercises increased option for 7.5 million doses of Moderna vaccine, Michael Romeo November Alpha, mRNA. ALDX, Aldera announcing first patient enrolled in phase 3 Tranquility trial of Ripoxla for the treatment of dry eye disease. That's Alpha Lima Delta X-ray, ALDX. JWA, John Wiley and Sons reporting $1. Revenue of $491 million for Juliet Whiskey Alpha. The estimate was 64 cents for JWA. SQNS, Sequence Communications, pricing their secondary offering of shares at $5.50 per ADS. That's Sandy, Quebec, November Sandy. GE, Golf Echo, GE secured order from Korea Southern Power for main equipment for KOSPO's Shinijang combined cycle power plant located in Nuri-ri. That's GE. GE also announcing $4 billion of actions to further solidify financial position. Voluntary pre-funded $2.5 billion of estimated minimum ERISA GE pension plan funding requirements for 2021 through 2023. Repaid $1.5 billion of its intercompany loan to GE Capital. That's Golf Echo. LXRX, Lexicon Pharmaceuticals spiking here, 238, getting upgrade from Citigroup this morning, hitting $2.43. Lima X-ray, Romeo X-ray, LXRX. RGLS, Regulus Therapeutics, spiking to 98 cents. Company announcing the closing of its $19.4 million private placement of equity. Romeo Golf Lima Sandy. continuing to spike here now, 264. WFC, Wells Fargo CEO, speaking at investor conference, says bank will roll out new financial reporting metrics in January. That's Whiskey Foxtrot Charlie. GMPX, Genprex completes manufacturing technology transfer for novel gene therapy, Golf November Papa X-ray. Wells Fargo CEO says bank is in process of exploring opportunities for certain product sets. WFC. KDNY, Chinook Therapeutics entered into license agreement with the Morehouse School of Medicine. Kilo Delta November Yankee. Fitch says coronavirus fallout to worsen for U.S. higher education in 2021. Coming up at 8:30, non-farm productivity and unit labor cost. NTCT, NetScout extends long-standing partnership with Vodafone, multi-year agreement. That's NTCT and VOD. ARLO, Arlo announcing strategic partnership with Calix. That's Alpha Romeo Lima Oscar and Charlie Alpha Lima X-Ray. Shares of Arlo Technology spiking to $8.13. Now at $7.60. That's Alpha Romeo Lima Oscar. PFE, Pfizer could ship vaccines as early as this weekend, as soon as clearance is granted. That from Dow Jones, PFE. Coming up, non-farm productivity and unit labor cost. 4.6% on non-farm productivity. That's versus the 4.9% estimate. Minus 6.6% on unit labor cost versus minus 8.9% expected. TPTX, Turning Point Therapeutics, granted FDA breakthrough therapy designation for repotrectinib treatment in patients with ROS1 positive metastatic non-small cell lung cancer who have not been treated with an ROS1 tyrosine kinase inhibitor. That's Tango Papa Tango X-ray, TPTX. SINO, Sino Global announces letter of intent to acquire Shenzhen Jiabu Mobile Internet Company, Sandy, India, November, Oscar. ARNA, Arena Pharmaceuticals, achieves target enrollment for a Trasmod Phase 3 Elevate UC 52 trial. That's ARNA, Arena. Apple, AAPL, says AirPods Max, announcing AirPods Max available to order starting today for $549. That's AAPL. Shares of Sino Global Shipping spiking on that acquisition announcement sharply. 665 the high. Closed at 350. Sino Global Shipping signing letter of intent to acquire a mobile internet company in China. Says engages in mobile refueling, location-based service map navigation, QR code mobile payments, online financial management, mobile app development, and IT operations. That's Sandy, India, November, Oscar. They're acquiring 51% of the company for about $1.1 million of shares of Sino Global stock. That's SINO. Letter T, AT&T, FBI awards AT&T mobility contract for additional FirstNet capabilities to support FBRS day-to-day and emergency operations. DXC, Delta X-Ray Charlie, DXC Technology signed a 5-year renewal of its outsourcing contract with SEG Automotive Germany. That's Delta X-Ray Charlie. MDT, Medtronic, announcing commercial launch of Carpe Diem Cardio Renal Pediatric Dialysis Emergency Machine. That's MDT, Michael Delta Tango. STT, State Street, announcing extension of servicing agreement with Glenmead Investment Management. That's STT, Sandy Tango Tango. Shares of Peloton are selling off here sharply. Peloton, $113 now. Apple announcing Fitness Plus launching Monday, December 14th. That's Peloton now at 114.07. Shares of Nautilus also moving down a bit here at 17.97. WTRH, Waiter Holdings, getting a pop here. Whiskey Tango Romeo Hotel. Shares of Peloton off the lows now 114. It'll have 112 on that Apple Fitness Plus news.
Down here, it actually dropped. It hit a low of 96 and then ripped up. So we call that a little bear trap. Got the bears trapped there, going short for the breakdown, and now it's curled back up. Let's see. Okay, should be coming up. All right, sorry about that, guys. All right, so we've got about 45 minutes to the bell, and we're just starting to kind of break things down. So I was just starting to take a look at CRIS, C-R-I-S. So we'll just be calling it CRIS today. I was saying that this looks like a little bear trap because we've got this little dip right here. It broke the previous low by 2 cents and then rips back up. Now the challenge, of course, with it, where it's positioned right now is, you know, where's the next entry? How do you manage risk on it? So on and so forth. I'm thinking the first target here would be a retest of this level right here, which would be 447. So a curl up to 447. If we then break through that level, then obviously our next target is a move up to the pre-market high of 473. So, you know, that's kind of what we're working with right now. This, as we sit, is a 1 minute micro pullback. We do still have 45 minutes to the bell, but this has already got 26 million shares of volume. So it's actively traded. People are not waiting for the bell to trade this one, and that certainly will include me. So this right now is a 1 minute micro pullback with a high at 34. High volume on the green candle, which is good to see. So, you know, it's starting to open up a little bit. Does it go through 35? There's 35. Are we going to see 36? There's 36. So you can see how it's starting to open up a little bit. There's 37. There's 38. The question, I think, will continue to be, where is, for those who have not already built a cushion pre-market, you know, while that on a 1 minute micro pullback is an opportunity to take a trade from 31 or 33 up to now 42, 43, 44, 1 minute micro pullbacks, you know, can be a little riskier. So we'd probably want maybe a little more confirmation, and now we're coming up to very close to a double top. So we don't want to get caught in a bull trap, you know, where we buy like right here and then it reverses the way it did back here to the short sellers. So I think the right thing to do on this is, of course, if you already have a cushion, you know, you've got a little room to work. But if you don't, then I think watching these patterns as it starts to pull back and see if we get either a cleaner 1 minute pullback.
CG Carlyle Group
or,
to acquire majority stake in
a
Consult Group. Trend details not disclosed. Charlie Golf.
Let's see. So.
NEOG, Neogen launches new preventive care DNA test, Identity, for canine wellness.
All you
NEOG.
guys who are all tuning in this morning. Those who didn't know, over the weekend we crossed over 700,000 subscribers on YouTube, which was really impressive. This year we crossed over 500,000, and now we're over 700,000. So we're making some nice strides here on the
UPS says having one of its most successful peak seasons ever.
community, which is cool.
That's
All right,
Uniform Papa
so,
Sandy.
You know, as we kind of watch this pattern unfolding, you know, Chris is definitely the one that I guess I would say most focused on here. To me, it has the most potential. The high of that candle is 44. I'm gonna put my order at 51. This is, you know, a little aggressive. We want to see if it's gonna break through the $0.50. But if it breaks through it, then we've got room back up. So I'm taking a long there, and I'm looking for this to squeeze back up towards 55. So you see how we've got a little hidden seller there? I'm gonna give it a chance, but I wanna see that break, and then I'm looking for 55 and a squeeze up to 60, and then up to where? 73. So let's watch this right here over 450. We've got 48, 49, looking for an add over 50 through the $0.50, putting an order at 62, so it's a little offset. So that was a nice 1 minute micro pullback with high volume. And now we're looking for the quick break through the $0.50. There we go. There's 50. I'm adding at 50, so I'm starting to scale in on this. And looking for the squeeze up to 55 and then 65. At this point here, we've got another pullback happening with the high at 50. So I'm gonna let it dip down, and then as it curls back up, I'll look for another trade through the $0.50. I'm in at 47 right now, so I'm in just under the $0.50. I'm looking for a retest of the pre-market high, which is 473. I think given the strength of this pattern, that pop back up to the high, that we have a good shot at seeing that move through 450, 460, and then 473. So the back of mind target would be, well, realistically, a test of $5. So 450, 475, and then 5. Those are the levels that I'm getting dialed in on. So that dip was to 37, the dip got bought up, and I'm a buyer back over 51, and then 55, 60 will be add spots. So we'll let this consolidate for a second. While it's consolidating, I don't see anything else I'm really dialed in on this morning, which is actually a good thing, because sometimes when you have a lot of different setups, it can be a little confusing as to which one is kind of the obvious one. And I don't think that's going to be a problem today. I think today we've got one fairly obvious setup. It's Chris, and it needs to work. We've got a little bit of a higher float on it at 53 million shares, but certainly not outrageously high. Let's see. I'm going to back up the daily chart. So go to daily. Back this up here. So the levels I'm going to watch on the daily are up here at 520 and up here at 496, and then over here with room up to 71, and then we start to get into bigger windows and gaps up here. 605, 717. All right, so now switch back to the 5-minute chart. So right now, this, let's see what it does here. So here's the thing, the 5-minute now is a little extended, and since it didn't break on that last try, let's see what it does. I'm gonna just get out, and I can always get back in. So the high of that candle is 51, and I think now it needs to do a little bit of a pullback. What I want to see is a 5-minute bull flag underneath this level. So 5-minute consolidation holding this level. While I could hold through the pullback, the problem with doing that you know, and I did this yesterday on, I think it was BCRX. You know, I was in and then it started dip and I added more. So, you know, if I added here at 36 instead of sold, you know, then I start to, yeah, it brings down my cost basis. But then if it just fades and this does end up being a bear trap or a bull trap and it comes all the way back down to here, then I'm really not in a great situation. So I really do, I think breakout or bailout is the better approach. So taking a small loss on it is certainly better than holding and averaging down, et cetera, et cetera. So the high there was 51, and there was clearly a wall there, which is a hidden seller. So, all right, well, that's that. We'll let it pull back. Dip trades on this would probably, I mean, the most obvious dip trade would be obviously off 4, but I'm not sure if that's going to be, that would be a pretty strong dip. I don't think it's going to dip that far. So we'll see what it does in this area. Chris, leading gapper, up 200% right now, up 200%. And we've got this sort of clear level at 450, the high at 473, daily levels at 96, 520, 571, 627, and then 717. Going down, Neuro on the gap scanner, but the chart is fading a little bit. It's got a couple of big red volume candles, so I'm going to leave that one alone. LXRX, this one I'm also not really that interested in right now. You can see it does have a high there of 284, but it also has a history on the daily of these red candles. So I don't think that looks great. It's certainly not ideal. So I want to wait on that one. SFIX, 51 million share float and a $50 stock. So that's a little too high. Those of you guys tuning in on Facebook and YouTube, make sure you hit the thumbs up if you haven't already. Want to try to get to 4,000 or maybe 5,000 thumbs up this morning. Set the bar a little higher. Sino. So Sino popped up here to a high of 665 and then pulled back. Chris is back up at the $0.50, as you can see, but the 5-minute is not ready for an entry. So this might be a place where people would short off the top. You see the sellers at 51 stacked up again. Sellers stacked up there, so that's not an entry. That's a short. It's not an entry until it breaks through that stack of sellers, and we don't know how big that stack of sellers is. So now if you're short at 49, you know, stop is 51, and your target would be back down into the 30s. You know, again, I like the idea of it, but it's just not ready quite yet. The first 5-minute candle to make a new high is what we're going to be looking for. This 5-minute candle actually has 3 seconds left on it, but you can see it's a double top at 50.
Redbook U.S. retail sales first week of December minus 2.4% versus November, plus 2.1% versus December a year ago, plus 2.1% for the week ending December 5th versus a year ago.
The breakthrough 50. Watch here. We want to see that accumulation. When it breaks, I'm going to be pressing the buy button. So let me put my order here at 55. Watching, order's ready to go. As soon as that wall breaks, what we're going to most likely see is a snap and a quick move up to 60, 65, and maybe right to 73. Watching. Just waiting for that break. Now, an early entry is fine too, but we want to catch that break. Oh man, see, look at that. I moved my mouse up, I came down, and there.
iBio pricing their $35 million offering, India Bravo India Oscar.
Did you see? I moved my mouse up here because I wanted to check the high of that candle.
29.7 million shares.
I see 50 on the ass.
For proceeds of $35.
And there it goes. Did any of you, I hope, at least get that entry? Are we going to get right to 73? So now that we've broken that critical level, we're going to watch the first pullback after the fresh break. Because, of course, me and many others who missed that first breakout will buy the first pullback. So I'm long at 70 right here. I'm taking a starter at 70, buying the first pullback for the breakthrough 73.
That's
Target
$1.17, $1.18
up
per share. Shares dropping
$5.
here.
So I want to ride this momentum up to 5. 73 is my add spot for the squeeze through the high of day, and then we're looking for 84, 94, and that test of 5. We're up 225% right now with 31 million shares of volume. This is very nice to see. So our add spot is 72, watching. Adding there at 72 for the break through the highs. Cost basis is 67. Are we going to get that break? There's 71, 72. I'll take my profit at 71 on it right now, just a 4-cent winner. My risk here is a double top versus the high. See how we have this W pattern? So double top. Now, if it rips right through it immediately, then it's fine. But if you're hesitating right at that level, then you have the double top risk. High right there is 73. So, this is one of the things with trading. Sometimes you can have, absolutely the right read on it, the right idea, and then, you botch the trade. You screw up your hotkey, or you get a little lag on your order, you don't get filled. And you know what? That's a good reason, in my opinion, to take early entries, to anticipate the breakout. That way, you're already accumulating a starter, and then if it breaks through that level, you're just adding. So watch here through 75, 77. I'm looking for that squeeze up over 80. I've got an order at 80 right now. If we start to see it ascending through this level, as long as it holds 73, see now we're starting to get that push up towards 5. So the high right there is 85. I'm going to put an order at 85. I want to add at 85, ride the momentum up to $5. Adding right there, and I'll add again at 95. I'm looking for the break through 5 as we're seeing this extension in the squeeze. 89 is the next add spot. When we have a stock like this, I try to get aggressive. I try to ride that momentum. I'm looking for the break of $5 and then a squeeze through 515, 520. So right now the high is 89. My order's at 91 for the next trade. Watching over 90. When I see prints at 87, 88, 89, I start pressing the buy button. Watching, there's 85. 86, I'm pressing the buy button. 88, I'm pressing the buy button. I'm pressing the buy button because I'm looking for that break through 90. Next target, 95. I want to catch that squeeze up through $5. So over 95 is an add. As we get closer and we see 96, 97, 98, I'll be adding again to anticipate the squeeze through 5. This is the type that I don't really want to let it off the hook. I want to try to be aggressive. I want to try to hold. And I want to get that squeeze up through 510, maybe 520.
NVCN Neovasc
So right now,
announcing $6.1 million registered direct offering priced at the market. November Victor Charlie November, NVCN.
Breakthrough 5 with full
FTNT, Fortinet acquires network monitoring and remediation innovator Panopta. That's Foxtrot Tango November Tango, FTNT.
So again, we've got a pullback right there. There's 90 on the ask.
JCI and MSFT, Johnson Controls and Microsoft announced global collaboration launch and
I don't know if
integration between OpenBlue Digital Twin and Azure Digital Twins. That's JCI and MSFT.
I'm going to take my profit off the table at 85. The reason it broke
AJG, Arthur J. Gallagher,
is coming back down. Similar to
Alpha Juliet Golf acquires
so I'm gonna
Cool
take the profit off the
Insuring
table. I'm looking
Agency,
at that
terms not
at the
disclosed.
high.
That's AJG.
We now have 2, 4,
CMTL,
5
Comtech
in a row.
Telecommunications,
So,
awarded a $3.8 million contract with the 911 Association of Central Oklahoma Governments. That's Charlie Michael Tango Lima, CMTL.
People lose money trading, and so what you should do is trade in a simulator before you ever put real money on the line. Of course, Warrior Starter and Pro students, you guys.
VZ, Verizon, and Motorola Solutions bring interoperable broadband communication to public safety.
It's 9 a.m. right
That's
now. We've got
Victor
30 minutes
Zulu.
to the bell. And I have an order still at $5.
AMGN, Alpha Michael Golf November, Amgen's sotatercept granted breakthrough therapy designation
like to wait
for advanced or metastatic non-small cell lung cancer in patients with KRAS G12C mutation. That's AMGN.
Place where some people would be short off of that false break there of 91. Because that, even though it only broke by 1 penny, it is technically
SYX, San Diego Yankee X-ray Systemax declares $2 per share special dividend.
In the 50s. So this
That's
is one
SYX.
where, you know, we kind of are seeing the bear trap, bull trap price action a little bit. And that might mean it's safer.
BSVN, Bank 7, announcing 10% increase in its quarterly dividend. Bravo Sandy Victor, November.
The pullback.
MIDD, Michael India Delta Delta, Middle B acquires Wild Goose Filling. That's MIDD.
Very heavy volume.
VIAB and AMZN, Amazon Web Services, says AWS now preferred cloud provider for Viacom CBS Global Broadcast Media operations. That's VIAB and AMZN.
The description, and I think pinned in the comments, with a link to download a copy of my book.
That's a VIACA, actually.
Read it. You should download it, read it, and learn a little bit more about how to trade these momentum stocks. Let's see. I'm gonna look for. Let's see.
PRIM, Primoris,
So I'm
awarded
if you guys
$36 million utility
been working on
award.
The classes.
That's Papa Romeo
Ready
India
to
Michael.
teach, winter school in early 2021. So we're going to run the live
CETX, Chemtrex announcing engagements with major consumer brands to utilize AR/VR in digital marketing campaigns. That's Charlie Echo Tango X-ray.
Warrior Pro Classroom, and we will start doing class for a few hours each day for about a month. So it's a nice long summer winter school program. Same routine as summer school. Bull trap and bear trap. Classes will most likely be recorded, archived, and we haven't announced the date yet, so you don't need to worry too much about it. We're not going to leave any of you guys hanging. High volume on that green candle is great to see. That's exactly what you want to see. The low of this pullback is 70 down here. So 70 would be a logical stop at this point. The first 5-minute candle to make a new high, well, the high with this one was 91, the high of the last one was 90. So 90 is still our line in the sand, I would say for sure. As we look at this pattern, you know, we've got a red doji at the top. So this is a little bit of a candle of indecision, right? We talk about that, of course, in the classes. This could be a reversal point, or it could be the point where the bulls win the tug of war and it rips through 5. But this is a little bit of an indecisive moment here because we were a little extended and we've got that red candle. So we want to see it hold above 70. If it breaks 70, then it's breaking the low of this last pullback. And that's a place where some people would go short or add short. EH, let's see, what do we have on EH? Higher price stock. Looks like maybe a Chinese stock. Blue sky. So all-time highs on this. Yep, I see that. Volume was higher on Monday, yesterday, so relative volume has picked up on it a little bit as well. So Chris, let's see if it breaks through 90 here. I've got my orders to add through 5. High is 94. My order is going to be at 95. Looks like you have on this one a dip Is this dip going to be a buying opportunity? No. It's coming back down. So that's a bull trap right there. That was a definite bull trap. It broke 90 and then came right back down. So we got to wait on this one for a 5-minute setup now. That's a very clear bull trap, a high volume one as well. Got that as well. We've got about 23 minutes to the bell. Let's see. So Chris, it seems like it's in the hand of short sellers right now with those two false breakouts. So this is going to be something we wait on for a little bit. With about 20 minutes to the bell, this is not a bad time to step back for a moment and just kind of wait, see if anything else pops up that looks good. Neuro, 3.76 million share float, but you can see the 5-minute has pulled back a little bit. LXRX, nothing there. SFIX, too expensive. CLPS is moving a little higher. There was news out this morning on it. So this one's going a little higher. Volume on it, it's 1 million shares, so it's a little on the lighter side, but that was a nice move there from 410 up to 458. I'd probably want to see a clear and obvious 1-minute setup on it. This was a 5-minute breakout, as you can see, so 5-minute breakout. What you'd want to see is a 1-minute pullback. And you want to see it hold that level. So if it holds that level, then we're looking at a move over 58 and then up towards 5. Daily resistance has room up to about $5. This isn't a 1-minute pullback yet. I mean, it's a micro pullback, but I'm not as inclined to take a micro pullback on a very light volume stock. So I finished the day yesterday up actually about $30,000 in my main account. We ended up having some great momentum, of course, in the morning, and then we had a little bit more in the, I don't know, 10:30 to 11:30 up till about noontime, which added a little bit more profit to the day. I haven't imported my trades from yesterday yet, but I'll do that in 1 second. Let's see. Let me go check one thing. All right, there we go. So let me download my trades from yesterday. Let's see. Kodak, I don't think I'm going to trade that one today. I mean, I know it was something that people, we traded yesterday, but I lost money on it. I found it to be difficult to trade, and I just don't have a lot of interest in going back for that. So very unlikely that I would trade that unless, unless we end up seeing some type of bigger move. But I think that that's a little unlikely. So. I think it's just a time to be a little cautious. Chris, I'm not a buyer on this one right now. I think it's a short. It keeps popping up and fading, so it's back to the top of this range. In hindsight, I could have bought the bottom of the range, but I didn't. So let's see whether or not it can even hold this level. So the current high is 513. So it's going higher, but I'm not a buyer on it yet. I still think it's probably going to be more of a short, but above 520 has room to 571. So I'm going to watch the first pullback here and see, does it hold back? Does it hold over $5? Does it hold the whole dollar? Or does it flush back down and go to 490? So it's holding right now with a high of 13. So I'd be a buyer on the break through 13 for a squeeze up to 525. So watching here. So I'm long there at 13 for the breakthrough 20. We've got 15 on the ask. And this is one that I keep kind of having a little bit of a hard time on. High is 15, so only up a couple cents. There's 17, so that's a little bit more. There's 18. I took some profit at 17 and 15 for now. I'll let it pull back. The high is 18. But it is holding over the whole dollar, so that's good to see. Still have 15 minutes to the bell. This 5-minute chart is a little funny because that breakout is just, sort of weird because it came all the way down here and then it came all the way back up. So what we just need to see is, will it hold through this level? And if it can, then it kind of resets from that previous choppiness. It's kind of the opportunity for this to press the reset button a little bit. So if this area here is a clean pullback and we get a break of 520 and move up to 570, then we'll look back on the chart and say, all right, it was choppy through here, and then it kind of broke out, and that was the moment where things started to get cleaner. So as I look at it right now, is it going to hold 5 or is it going to flush?
CBAT, CBAC Energy announcing entry into agreement for registered direct placement of $49.2 million of common stock and warrants. That's Charlie Bravo Alpha Tango, CBAT.
So you've got 15 on the ask.
Common stock priced at common stock and warrant priced at $5.18 per share. That's CBAT.
Now it's starting to
shares selling off here now. $5.47 the low on CBAT. That's Charlie Bravo Alpha Tango.
Okay. But as a first 1-minute candle to make a new high, realistically, that's not the biggest move we've ever seen.
GNUS, Genius Brands, in deal with LG Electronics to offer cartoon channel app across LG Smart TVs, further expanding the reach of the premier children's entertainment destination. That's GNUS, press release now from the company. BLNK, Blink Charging, BLNK
super.
Says Helios awarded purchase agreement to deploy EV charging stations by Public Power Company, Greece's largest electricity provider. That's probably November Kilo.
Consolidation.
Shares of Blink, little pop here, 28.50.
We don't know where we may
for
or may
Blink.
not have sellers stacked up. Once the bell rings, we'll be
Shares of
talking
Genius
about
Brands
levels.
getting a pop here, $1.48, up 9 cents. For Golf November Uniform Sandy.
Watching this very tight
J&J.
to see which way it's going to break. Looks like it's breaking.
Johnson & Johnson Chief Science Officer Stoffel says big question regarding its COVID vaccine candidate is when to give booster shot. It's definitely a very important subject of research to determine when to boost. That's Juliet November Juliet. J&J.
Seller at 21.
Shares of J&J up.
So I think we might see that double top stuff again on this
About
at this new area.
90 cents now. 97 cents. That's Juliet November Juliet.
If it breaks 21, 22, then we'd look at 25, 35, 45, move up towards the $0.50.
CRIS, Curus hitting new highs now, $5.30. Charlie Romeo India Sandy. Shares up about 265% now on CRIS. EYPT, iPoint announcing 1 for 10 reverse stock split. Echo Yankee Papa Tango. DISH, Dish completes successful 5G field validation and deploys Open RAN radio units from MTI. That's DISH, Dish. IATA says October passenger total demand measured in revenue passenger kilometers, or RPKS, was down 70.6% versus October of 2019. International passenger demand in October was down 87.8% versus October 2019. Capacity was 76.9% below previous year levels, and load factor shrank 38.3% points to 42.9%. Uneven recovery, more pronounced in domestic markets, with China's domestic market having nearly recovered while most others remain deeply depressed. That's from the IATA CEO. Baidu highlights its autonomous driving commercialization push at Apollo Ecosystem Conference. That's Bravo India Delta Uniform, BIDU. ORCL hearing Oracle getting a downgrade at Cleveland Research this morning to a sell, downgrading at Cleveland Research. That's ORCL. BLIN, healthcare provider, continues to partner with Bridgeline for its software and professional services. Bravo Lima, India, November. Papa John's founder subjected to baseless misreporting, that according to reported by Bloomberg, PZZA. Shares of Papa John's getting a little pop here, 82.37, up 31 cents, Papa Zulu Zulu Alpha. MRNS, Marinus announcing pricing of its $70 million offering, 5 million shares. At $14 per share, that's MRNS. PFE, Pfizer CEO, says expects a very intense meeting with the FDA Advisory Committee. I think they will vote yes, given the strength of the data. That's PFE. CRIS. Curis continuing to spike sharply here, up 320% at the high, $6.16 for CRIS. CIDM, Cinedigm partners with Spirix to expand international content distribution capabilities. That's Charlie India Delta Michael. AXTI, spiking to 1112 and halted on a circuit breaker, Alpha Tango X-Ray India. AXTI, Alpha X-Ray Tango India. KNDI, Candy Technologies, popping here, $9.52. Kilo November Delta India. QS QuantumScape December 60 call sweep, currently at 5102, Quebec Sandy. ARLO, Arlo Technologies, getting a pop here again, $7.80, $7.90, up about 9.5% now. Alfa Romeo Lima Oscar, earlier, company out with a press release announcing a partnership with Calyx, extending distribution to new regional markets. That's ARLO. Now it's $7.95, moving here on heavy volume, ARLO. YQ 17 Education and Tech Group getting a pop here. Halted on a circuit breaker at 1445. AXTI resuming trade. Apple engineers partnered with Cloudflare to improve internet privacy. That from Apple Insider. That's November Echo Tango, NET. Cloudflare. That's Apple engineers partnering with Cloudflare to improve internet privacy. That from Apple Insider. November Echo Tango. That article being circulated now may have been out earlier, hitting a high of 83.92 now. That's November Echo Tango. Pfizer CEO says working on a new formulation to avoid having to store COVID-19 vaccine at minus 70 degrees Celsius. Says have confidence in UK regulator after its decision to approve the vaccine. That's PFE Pfizer. Comments from the CEO. AT&T CEO says we'll soon reach 12.6 million customer activations for HBO Max AT&T CEO presenting at the UBS conference. That's letter T. SNDL, Sundial Growers, getting a pop here, 56 cents. Sandy November Delta Lima, up more than 6% now. NMTR, 9 meters, Biopharma getting FDA orphan drug designation for teduglutide for prevention of acute graft versus host disease. That's NMTR. AT&T CEO says others could possibly distribute content on the HBO Max platform. That's letter T. Says expects 2021 movie release strategy will accelerate HBO Max growth. That's letter T. YRCW spiking here, Yankee Romeo Charlie Whiskey. Shares of Chewy spiking here, ahead of earnings. CHWY, Chewy. FSLY Fastly, getting a pop here, 93.45. At the highs now, up about 9%. Moving, traders is attributing that move also to the Apple article on TechCrunch partnering with Cloudflare. MBRX, molecular and biotech popping here. $0.86 now, up about 5% on MBRX. XXII, 22nd Century, X-ray, India, spiking here. Company receives order for 3.6 million new spectrum variable nicotine cigarettes for U.S. government-supported research. That's X-ray, India, getting a spike on that now. XXII. PHUN Funding receives Privacy Shield certification. Papa Hotel Uniform November. NVS Novartis says investigational stamp inhibitor axinimab shows superior MMR rate to Balsulf in chronic myeloid leukemia trial. That's NVS, November Victor, Sandy. Marine Research Group on iBio says don't buy the vaccine dream. That's from Marine Research Group. India Bravo, India Oscar. Short report out. CIDM Cinedigm, after that earlier press release, getting a pop here at 76 cents. Charlie India Delta Michael. Mnuchin, Meadows, McConnell, McCarthy discussing stimulus today. That from Bloomberg. Shares of Plug Power spiking to the highs, 2608 PLUG. Shares of Ballot Power also hitting new highs now, BLDP. SONM, Sonam Technology, Spiking here, Sandy Oscar, November, Michael. Company out with a press release earlier on their ultra rugged feature phone. Sky News says, according to EU sources, Michael Barnier told meeting of ministers this morning chances of a deal were very slim. VIBO, Meridian Bioscience, submits application to the FDA for emergency use authorization for SARS-CoV-2 molecular assay. That's VIBO. QS, QuantumScape, CNBC tweeting QuantumScape building better electric car battery that it says charges to 80% in 15 minutes. That's QS shares off the highs now, 51.74, hit a high of 56.79 for QS.